place. And then he knew that people wouldn't listen to him because he wasn't an MD. So he went to the University of Guadalajara, got his MD, came back to Chicago, did his internship at Presbyterian, and then did a residency in cardiology and internal medicine. And so, without wasting any more time, Dr. Nasr, welcome.
This is the ancient Egyptian way. Thank you everybody for coming. I was just on the way here telling somebody over the phone, I said, who is going to come to a lecture on the digestive system? I probably have about 5, 6 people because everybody, they think they know everything about the digestive system, and here I came in, I walk in, I said, oh my gosh, there's lots of people interested in the digestive system. Well, first I thank you all for coming, and I'd like to know how many people here for the first time tonight. Okay, we have about 15 people. I do like to thank you. I'd like to thank God for giving us opportunity to see each other after I have friends right here I haven't seen for a long time. And I thank God that He gave me another 5 years to see them in the lecture, which is wonderful. And hopefully next year we'll see each other again. To do that, if we want to do that, part of it is we have to take care of the digestive system so we can see each other again. We have scheduled the lectures through the whole country in a specific manner for the past 2 years. If you've been following my lectures for the past 2 years, they're done in a specific way. Different from all the lectures I have given for the last 32 years on Shackles. Because before, I used to educate people how to become nutritionists to teach others. And after 30 years, I find out it's not working. People, they come to the lecture, they forget most of what I say anyway, then they not really, they're not spreading the word of nutrition fast enough to the general public. So I have decided I'm attacking the problem in a different way. I say, if I can select one product in my practice, which I have 20,000 patients in the practice, if I select a product, because when you have that many people, you don't tell people what to take. You suggest, but you don't tell them, okay, I want you to take Shakti, I want you to take New Life, I want you to take this. You have to only suggest to them and they have, it's up to them to do what they want to do. Then I have decided, why should I do that? Not to suggest to them. I do suggest in my practice, but I found out that the group who are taking Shakti vitamins are different from the ones who are not. And being practicing for so many years, you can tell about certain diseases, certain patterns of cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL, HDL, cardiac arrhythmias, cancers, dementia, Alzheimer's. You can tell who's developing this, who's not developing that, and why. It has to be a reason. One of the reasons were because they all having the same treatment by me. They all have the same methodology, diagnosis, hormonal treatment, detoxification. Everything is the same, except for the ones who were on the Shakti vitamins has doing something different from the rest. What are they doing different? It's probably because the product itself is different. So I decided just to talk about the product in every lecture. So we talked about heart disease, high blood pressure is a silent killer, if you remember that lecture. You remember the lecture, right? And we talked about what nutrients for blood pressure, and we talked about other diseases. And now the digestive system is one of those diseases, one of those organs that we need to talk about. In the very beginning, I concentrated on killer diseases such as cancer and high blood pressure and heart disease. Then, in the second group of lectures, concentrated on debilitating diseases that make your life miserable, but they don't kill you, such as Alzheimer's, dementia, stroke, stuff like that. We talked about that. And the third group of diseases, which this one started today, and in the future, are the diseases that if you feel good, if your digestive system, for example, is doing good, you will feel good. Are you following me or no? Not necessarily is going to ruin your life if you have indigestion, if you have reflux esophagitis, if you have hiatal hernia, but if you don't have it, you will feel a lot better. You follow me or no? So that is the reason I'm surprised to see so many people for such a simple subject. When I did the killer disease, I have half as many, half of the number of people. So maybe that's what we should talk about. Next lecture, maybe makeup. Okay. Then when we started talking about digestive system, I said to Joyce in my office, I said, you know what? Really, the digestive system is not one organ only. It's divided in that duodenum area to two organs. From the top down, when you eat something, up to certain ligaments, called the ligament of stress, in the duodenum, past the duodenum, everything from here must go up if you want to get it out, vomit it. From the that ligament down, everything from that ligament has to come out the other way. They are separate, two separate organs. Are you following me so far? It is actually the most important organ in your body that gives you good health. If you have good digestive system and good absorption system and good eliminating system, you feel a lot better. Haven't you noticed that sometimes when you haven't eaten or you have to clean your system, to come and for me to do tests on you, I think if you're hungry, you feel better. That there is nothing inside. And once you start eating, you feel, gee, I don't feel as good as I was before. In the meantime, as I am a Muslim, we fast 30 days a year. In the month of Ramadan, we eat from sunrise to sunset, and nobody really eats at sunrise because when you wake up at the session itself, you just drink a glass of water and you're not eating. But you know something? It's amazing that in the first 3 days, you get hungry, you get dizzy, you get all of that. Then you start getting used to it. By the 30th day, you don't want to stop. You feel it's so good that you leave in the morning, you haven't had water or food or anything by mouth all day, and you're working in 130 degrees temperature in Egypt. The farmers work in the desert and that. No water, and nobody's dying. And no kidney failure, no heart failure, no stroke, none of that stuff. So we really have to learn from ancient things. The people in Russia, how they're doing, and all the Siberian, and how people in Egypt, how they're doing, the ancient Egyptians, how they're doing, how other cultures have established themselves, because they've been doing it for 1,300, 1,400 years, the same thing. And if they have a problem, we should see it, but we don't. So the digestive system, it gets sick with food, it gets better without. In general. In general, it doesn't like too much food. It likes food, but not too much food. It likes quality, not quantity. Quantity, if we're talking about hamburgers and stuff like that, it may be like a little bit, but if quantity, if it's salad, it likes roughage more than like solid food. So the lecture was designed that we're going to take the upper part, start from the mouth, and then lots of people don't realize that the mouth plays an important role in the digestive system. Then I will talk about that. Then I will talk about the stomach and the acid in the stomach, what it does it do to the esophagus and so on, and the heartburn and hypothermia, reflux esophagitis, and H. pylori and all of this, and cancer of the stomach. Then we will go down below to speak about, let me get my paper. I forgot I'm supposed to be writing something for you here. I didn't even focus yet. Okay, let me focus. See? Okay, that's all. If we look at the digestive system from the top down, first we look at the human body as a whole. This is the human body. It's built like this. So you remember, that is the body we try to feed with the digestive system. We have a bone. It needs calcium. It needs magnesium. It needs iron. It needs vitamins to work for you. And who's going to give it that? It's the digestive system will give it this nutrient. Are you following me or not? Okay. And inside this body, there are several organs. The lung is right here. And also the lung, it needs to give you oxygen. But the lung, to do that, it must have lecithin to work. The lung cannot work unless it has enough lecithin. And I don't know if you know that or not. If you don't know that, just write it in your brain right now. It is the lecithin that is responsible for the baby to take their first breath when they're out of their mother. When they are out of their mother, the lung is collapsed. Completely collapsed when they're inside. Once they come out to take the first breath like a balloon, boom, like that, it is not accidental. It is not accidental. It's all the lecithin molecule, which is phospholipid. They put their hands together like this, and they put their hands together and stretch out like a spring, and the lung opens up. When it opens up, the baby takes the first breath. And the first breath, it has water in it. If he inhaled some of the amniotic fluid, then he cries that he doesn't like that in the lungs. And the cry also makes him breathe much deeper. So even the lung is related to digestive system. And if you don't have a good digestive system, you're not going to absorb the lecithin. And if you're not taking the lecithin, you're not going to have lecithin. So there is other organs inside here, if I find enough colors. There are kidneys right here. They filter the body chemicals, and they also need vitamin C, potassium, calcium, and beta-carotene and all of that to function. But antioxidants are the biggest thing in the kidney function. How are they going to get it through the digestive system? If we talk about hormones, right here and here, not in the same person, those hormones also, female or male, they require certain nutrients. And that comes also through the digestive system. We do not absorb nutrients through skin. Neither we absorb it through the lungs. We have to eat, get nourished from our digestive system. Thank God we can add food supplements to our diet to complement it with the missing stuff. So the digestive system will take, there is one organ also, right here, some people don't have, also requires some nutrients, and the digestive system has to send the nutrients there. Now, the digestive system starts from here, and goes down to here, that's the stomach, to the small intestine, where everything gets absorbed, to the large intestine, where everything gets eliminated. So this is called the digestive system. Missing two organs. One on the right called the liver, one on the left called what? The pancreas. This how the digestive system works. Without heart to distribute the food around, then it would be useless to have a digestive system. So we have a pump to do that. So we're going to be talking from here up to here this time, and from here to there next time. Because one lecture will not be fair to cover all these organs, realizing the mouth itself has, it's one organ, even you have a dentist, it's specialized just in the mouth itself. So imagine the rest of it, it's very complicated. When I was driving here, where is my lecture? I prepared it someplace here. Yeah, I have to follow my notes. To understand the digestive system, you have to understand one thing about it. The absorption, which we're going to be talking about next time. Today is digestion. Next time is absorption and elimination. The absorption part, the intestine looks like this. And it has hair in it like this. That's not part of the topic of lecture tonight. That's the preparation for the next time. But in this area, it has holes here. And those holes will allow the food that is this size to go to the blood here. The blood is here, the intestine is here, the food is here. So the food to get in here, it has to go through tiny holes. So this is the biggest problem of all. The biggest problem of all, from the beginning to the end, the particles are too big to be absorbed. They're not broken down. They fermented, maybe by bacteria or yeast or candida or something. Or the pH is wrong, and it just passes through. And you feel like you had your food, you had your supplement, but I don't feel good. It's because the digestive system, something did not go right in it. Digestive system does not need a doctor to get better. You do it on your own. Only if there are problems in it, then I get involved. If there is problem, cancer or ulcer or something, then I get involved. If there is no problem, I don't get involved in the digestive system. I tell the people, here are the vitamins you should take, here's how you should do it, here, you go home. You take care of it because it's a very easy system to take care of. Very simple system once you know how to do it. Most of people don't know how to do it. Most of people don't know even how to eat or to drink. They drink the wrong things, they eat the wrong things, they do it the wrong time, and then they expect the digestive system to respond beautifully to them. And I spoke to a patient today, and I said, you know, the questioner, I hope she's not in the lecture anyway, today, because the lecture, how come I'm not losing weight? I said, you're probably eating too many sweets. So I'm not. I said, you're probably drinking too many fruit juices. I said, I have to. How can I wake up in the morning without drinking some juice? I said, gee, you know, we had done it in my village in Egypt for 5,000 years without that. How did we miss on that? Because in my village there's no fruit tree in the desert. The palm tree, there's some big, but there's water and grains and vegetables. But you know, fruit trees need such a climate, and we don't have that. How can people live in that desert with no fruit trees except dates, raisins, few things, and they are expensive, very, very expensive to buy. So you want to go and buy an orange or a grape, probably costs about 10 times the price of grains or something like that. Or meat even, costs more than meat, the fruit. So people naturally don't want it. But they're surviving. How? Because they're doing the right thing. I will explain to you something. The food the body needs to live on is the following. Carbohydrate, let me get another piece of paper. Carbohydrate that gives the energy to the body. Without carbohydrate, you will be tired. You will be fatigued. It comes in two forms. Simple means digested already, like in fruit. Fruit juices, like pieces like that, will go in the bloodstream within 5 minutes. Or complex, that it looks like this, but it's connected together in one piece. There are about 170,000 pieces of sugar connected together in a piece of bread. So a piece of bread is 170,000 glucose connected together, but if you eat it, you will not get instant energy. You will get the energy 4 hours later. Because it needs to be what? Digested first. And it gets digested slowly. Piece by piece into the blood. Little sugar at a time. Never in one time. Little bit at a time. So all day, when you sleep at night, when you're not eating from 8 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning, that's almost 11 hours sometimes after we don't eat. How the brain gets sugar without hypoglycemia? We don't have hypoglycemia at night when we sleep. You don't, because if you do, you'd be waking up sweating and having hunger and craving and run to the refrigerator, you got to drink something sweet right away. But most of us, we don't have that. When you go to sleep, at 9 or 10 you say, who is giving you this sugar all the time to the brain? And you know from the lecture of the brain I told you, if you remember that lecture of the brain and memory, if you remember that, we talked about that the brain, if the sugar level goes below 40, you go in a coma. So the brain has to have enough sugar. So carbohydrate is the only source of sugar, but it comes in complex form. Which of the two is better for us as a source of energy? The simple or the complex? The complex. And that's mistake number 1. But I'm going to make it harder on you. We chemists have succeeded to understand your desire, what you need, what your body needs of energy, that we even broke the sugar down. When the sugar goes inside the body, we will talk about that in the next lecture. When the sugar goes inside the body, the sugar, which have 6 atoms, this is now, we're breaking things to atoms, it breaks down to single atom, 2 atoms together, then single atoms together by itself, carbon atom, and the 2 atoms together, it lasts 1/10,000 of a second through the cell. When it's made, it converts so rapidly because it is alcohol. So the sugar breaks down to energy, releases energy, but through the process, it makes alcohol, but it gets rid of it so fast, in 1/10,000 of a second. farming. We chemists knew that. So what we have done, we fermented the sugar and broke it down and produced the 3 beers the guy in Ireland was drinking for him and his 2 brothers. So that alcohol, if you take it, will give you instant what? Energy. Is that the right source of energy? Why? Because it lasts very short time. Actually, alcohol, if you put it on your finger and you put it in the flame, you can go like this and then it will burn without burning the skin. You've seen that in experiments in the lab sometimes. And you see in the magicians blowing alcohol from their mouth, fire, and they don't get burned because it is a small molecule. But let me see him try to burn 4 molecular weight atoms, such as the propyl alcohol, in his mouth, and he will be all starting on fire like benzene or kerosene. He won't do that. So in any way, I want to warn people who want instant energy by drinking alcohol, please do not do that. It is the worst food you can give to your body is alcohol as a source of energy. It is true, alcohol can be used in panic attacks, suicidal attempts, schizophrenia. Women in the old days when they have premature delivery, we have to give them alcohol. We can use alcohol in medical conditions. If I'm going to see somebody, and if I'm not flying on a plane, and then I see somebody who's going to commit suicide and have a gun, I'm going to take a flight attendant and give him all the whiskey you have. Because I want him to be drunk. But for non-medical purpose, alcohol is not good food. But let us skip that. Just to answer the question, believe me, this answer important question. I treat lots of alcoholism. I treat lots of liver cirrhosis. I treat lots of people, young people dying. I have a friend who is the manager of my horse farm, comes to me a month ago, and I look at him, and he is, I am about 14 years older than him, 15 years older than him. He looks like 100 years older, and he looks so bad. I said, what's the matter? What's the matter, Bob? He said, I don't know. I said, your liver have gone. Your liver, I told you that when I saw you so many years ago, don't drink. You didn't believe me. And that is the problem with alcohol. It's addictive. It's a habit. And we tend to, when we want to have good time, let us have a drink. Right? We people tell each other that. Let us have a drink. When you want to have a good time, you don't want to have a drink. If you want to really be romantic, you don't want to have a drink. If you want to be nice to somebody, have fun, you don't want to have a drink. Right? You want to think, you have a joke, you want to have a good time, you want to talk, you want to make sense. But not drinking and you say, we had a good time. Come on. What kind of good time is that? Couple alcoholics. The next one, I sit in a restaurant, I look at people and I feel sorry for them, especially in the plane. When you sit next to somebody who's drinking, have you ever had that? And the smell itself is bothering you. They said, no smoking. I said, but this smell is going in my lungs. The alcohol is getting out. Because the bad thing about, good thing about alcohol, it absorbs it through the mouth, through the esophagus, so you breathe it right away, so everybody knows you've been drinking. So alcohol, it gets out right away in your breath. And then everybody, I'm glad they have no smoking at least. Because of that on fire. Okay. Now, so which one of the other 2 carbohydrates is better? Because this lady asked me this morning about the weight. I said, just look at your habits. If you're eating fruits, drinking fruit juices, sweet, maybe you're consuming more energy than you're burning. And that is true. So when you tell how you want to have some apple, you want to have orange juice, you want to have something. No. When you're tired, that's what you should do. When you're tired, you should exercise. Because you have enough fat stored in that body to give you energy during that exercise. And don't give me that I'm too tired to exercise. You have enough. So if you don't have enough, then you can have anything you want. But that is what we all like. If I am really want to have a good time, I will have a glass of juice. It is enjoyable. You know, like orange juice, nice cold orange juice. We're not talking about Coke here, anyway. That's different countries. That's different poison by itself. We're talking about the natural, organic stuff that we all do. None of us drink Coke right here, I understand that, or Pepsi. So we eliminated that completely from our homes. So we're just talking about the juice and the fruit and the bread. So it is better to have the meal you eat. First thing you have, the best thing you have is carbohydrate, rice, macaroni, spaghetti, any of that. When you eat that, it goes in the digestive system, right here in the stomach. Inside your mouth, let me draw another picture. It doesn't look pretty, this one. Okay. Here is the picture of the digestive system, the stomach, and the duodenum, and the pancreas, and across the street we have the liver. Okay, now, this is your mouth, by the way. His chin, his lips, his nose, and all of this right here. The moment you eat piece of food in the form of alcohol, in the form of juice, you see I make dots means the smaller molecular weight, or in the form of piece of bread, 170,000 molecular weight, they all have to be identified by the tongue. So the tongue identifies the food right away. You ate. In the tongue, there's a guy sitting right here in the tongue, and your mouth sits in this area, and he has a telephone. And he calls the brain. To tell the brain that person just drank some alcohol. The person just drank some juice. The person ate a piece of bread. According to the message, then the brain will send the message to the proper center. If it is sugar or juice, it sends the message directly to the pancreas, bypassing the stomach, to secrete insulin, to put the sugar directly in the blood, so you have your blood sugar, you feel good right away. Sugar is toxic to the body. If it exceeds certain level, it converts to alcohol. We call the disease diabetes. And diabetes is serious disease, because anything over 180 converts to sorbitol alcohol. Alcohol is bad. So the brain knows that. So the brain, once he knows the alcohol is coming, if we leave it in the stomach too long, if the brain leaves it in the stomach, it's going to ferment to alcohol. If he puts it in the blood so fast with insulin, that's the best way. So it puts it in the blood, and your blood sugar goes up so fast, and you feel good, but the amount of insulin came out is more than the sugar coming in, then the blood sugar drops down below the average. So it goes high to hypoglycemic, and after you drank the juice, after 2 hours, you're more fatigued than before, because you have hypoglycemic reaction. So that is the first thing wrong with that message. If the message is piece of bread, then this guy here send the message to So another guy here is sitting in a chair in the stomach. And that guy, his name is hormone gastrin. Mr. Gastrin determines how much hydrochloric acid should come out, how much digestive enzyme should come out. Because in normal, when you're sitting right here, not eating or fasting at night, that acid is eliminated, is neutralized. The pH of the stomach normally is about 4, which is quite acid. During eating, when you eat a piece of bread, it drops down to 1. The pH of your acid in your battery is how much in the car? About 1 to 2. No, 0, of course. So actually, if you really put your hand in your stomach, don't try to do that, overnight it will come out with no hand. It will, if a baby vomits and some clothes and leave it, it will make a hole in it. Have you ever noticed that in your life? That vomit is acid. You feel it. If you regurgitate at night and the acid comes out, you wake up choking. That acid, if it goes in the lung or something, you feel like burning, like fire, right or wrong? Right. So we have here a guy guard against that. Gastrin closes the door, always, and stays inside. He gets a message to open the door, because a piece of bread is coming. What he will do, he will let the hydrochloric acid come out and let the enzymes come out to digest the carbohydrate. We don't have to tell the name of each enzyme. And the piece of carbohydrate comes in right here. And the reason I'm taking lots of time with carbohydrates, because when we get to protein and fat and others, it's the same mechanism. We're not going to spend as much time. That's number one reason. Number two reason, carbohydrate is the main source of energy. So we really have every right to start with carbohydrates. Now, I'm just going to make the stomach a little bit bigger this time. And this guy is sitting on a chair right here, gastrin. And he got the message. When he got the message, he had also a telephone next to him. He notifies the pancreas to tell the pancreas, by the way, there's a piece of bread coming, and I'm going to break it as much as I can, as you, the pancreas, have to finish it. So he breaks it from 100. I made a mistake right here. Just let me go back here. It actually, in the mouth itself, it gets, when you chew it, it gets broken down from 170,000 to about 10,000 pieces of 10,000 each. When it gets to the stomach, of pieces of 10,000 each, this guy here breaks it down to approximately 6 or 7 together. And remember, the intestine will only allow single one to go through, or maybe 2. That is glucose. Fructose is 1. Mannose is 1 from banana. Or sucrose is 2 from sugar cane or beet. That's okay. It's allowed also to go through. The pancreas is the one has to secrete the enzyme that breaks down the 7 to single 1. That's called the digestive system. That process here, this guy here, number 1, he opened the door, lifted it, and he closed it. And he closed this door also. And this becomes like a dishwasher, going on and on and on and on and on for 4 hours, non-stop. The stomach digests for 4 hours. 3 to 4 hours goes on and on and on. So let us say you have a meal, and you have another snack in 2 hours, another snack in 2 hours, another snack in 2 hours, what you're having is confusion right there. Open and close, open and close, open and close, gas, so many digested, semi-digested, not digested. Are you following me? Open or close, which one we're going to do? Should we throw it out? Should we regurgitate it or put it back through? It's confusion. So this closes and this becomes like a dishwasher. It becomes, everything goes in, becomes liquid. Even some of the bones of the fish, the soft bones, it will become liquid inside the stomach. So that is the digestive system. These enzymes coming out are made of three things. The enzyme that's coming out like this, it looks like this, and they eat this piece and this piece and this piece. Those enzymes made of three pieces. One called vitamin, another one called coenzyme, or to make it simple for you, trace minerals, zinc, magnesium, manganese. These are the main ones in the digestive system. And the third one is protein, to make an enzyme. So if somebody has deficiency of trace minerals, would he have enough digestive enzymes? Are you following me so far? Okay. Let us make the problem a little bit worse. Because the reason I say these things, because most of you here, I know lots of you for years, you are better nutritionists than most of the doctors I meet in conferences. Really, my patients know more about common sense of nutrition than doctors, that they know the truth and they hide it. What can be more hypocrite than that? Because doctors are well educated, but for some reason they hate nutrition. They just don't like you to talk about nutrition. So, if we want to convince them through a video, I hope it's working, let us look at the soil that the piece of bread came from. The piece of bread came from the soil. Or the fruits or anything you ate that has vitamins in it. I'm talking about trace minerals and vitamins right now. Does the food have the trace minerals and the vitamins or not? To make enzymes. Let us analyze it together. To make trace mineral in the food, you must have trace mineral in the soil. Is that fair statement or no? Okay. What does the trace mineral mean then? What the word trace mean? We knew it, right? Why we didn't call it major element, major mineral, like calcium? Because it's a trace. Why is it trace? Because if we have too much of it, it will kill us. If we have deficiency of it, we will get sick. You follow me? Let us give you some examples. You're familiar with zinc, magnesium. I know you're familiar, you're going to tell me that, but I'm going to give you difficult ones. Cyanide is a trace mineral. It must be present to make vitamin B12 cyanocobalamin. So to make a B12, we know B12 is important or not? We don't have to discuss that, right? Okay. Because some doctors say that B12 has no use in the body. We don't need to take it. So let us say they are wrong. We need trace minerals to make digestive enzymes. And cyanide is one of those minerals. Can a farmer who commercially produces crops put cyanide in the soil? Can you as a farmer, I'm a farmer, can we get cyanide and put it in the soil? By smell and touch alone, we will drop dead, right? The smell of it, hydrocyanuric acid, or the touch, instantly you're dead. Faster than a cobra, snake bite or anything else. When the guy Guyana or Jamestown or something, he put a little bit in Kool-Aid to give it to thousands of people so they can meet God. Stupidly, they didn't meet God. So they all were dead instantly. They didn't know that. So does the soil around us have enough cyanide? The only soil will have enough if it's organic fertilizer. Because if you put organic fertilization in the soil, it has cyanide in it. It has every trace mineral in it, organic fertilization. But chemical fertilizers, no way. You're going to have somebody sell you cyanide to do that. We would have enough problem right now even giving ammonium nitrate now. Because the guy a farmer who had ammonium nitrate, he's convicted that he blew Oklahoma building. Which I don't think had anything to do with the building himself, that guy McPay or whatever his name is. He's a farmer, he got ammonium nitrate, and then they catch him. Of course he's a farmer, he had ammonium nitrate, and you got to fertilize your soil. So they find bomb-making material and to put the poor guy to death. Which is a different subject. I don't want to get involved in that because I don't like this penalty to start with. So the proof right here is we do not have organic fertilization. Our soil, the amount of cyanide in the soil has disappeared by 99.9% according to the Department of Agriculture. You write to them, tell how much cyanide in my farm, your own farm. They tell you nothing. What does cyanide make? B12, let's say. Then we have deficiency. So, can we have enough? Where's the stomach? Right here it is. Can we have enough trace minerals to make the enzyme? No, we won't. So we will have deficiency, and a good way to do it, Shaklee came out with Easy Digest, which has enzymes to help digest that food. So with the milk, one Easy Digest to take, it will be cooked with it to digest, to help the digestion. And better than that, you'll be taking your vitamins every single day. Now, if you don't have this enzyme, what happens to the carbohydrate? Just think about it. It's not digested. It's broken a little bit. It's not digested. It goes down to the pancreas. It can't digest all of it. It goes down to the intestine. It becomes fermented and has gas. Creates lots of gas. So that's one of the problems about not eating the proper carbohydrate or not having good digestive system. If you eat carbohydrate and you have salad with it, like you have a toast, and you have a salad, the tomato and lettuce together. When you mix carbohydrates with salad and chew them together, it makes the digestion much easier. Because vegetables work as anti-gas. It's anti-fermentation. So salad prevents having heartburn. Salad prevents acid stomach. Salad improves the digestive system. So we're not going to have salad with breakfast, but you can have oatmeal without adding too much sugar to it. Or you can have some cereal with fibers without too much sugar in it, or you can have some eggs and you have the toast and all of that. But even the toast, it has some fibers in it, to help the digestion. If it is wheat bread, we will have that, not white bread. So we go to the next nutrient that we need to talk about is the protein. Protein is the next in the list because every single enzyme in the body made of protein. Life is protein. So to make anything in the body, to build in blocks, is protein. And we have two choices of protein. We have the vegetable protein that, pay attention to that now, that the molecular weight of that is approximately 500,000 amino acids. And we have the chicken and the fish, the animal protein, the eggs, the fish and the chicken, the molecular weight about 700,000. Or we have the beef, not from England, that the molecular weight is approximately 2 million. Or we have the pork, that the molecular weight is approximately 3 million. Did you get the point I'm trying to say? Because I already told you in the carbohydrate what happens. The longer the molecular weight, the more work the pancreas and the body has to do, right? So if you ate protein from vegetables, lentils, instant protein, the chocolate soy protein, beans, which one will be digested faster? That one or the chicken and fish? The vegetables. Which one will be digested faster, the chicken or fish or the beef? Chicken and fish. Which one will be digested faster, the beef or the pork? The beef. So we have choices. I happen to be believer not to eat pork because we were told as Muslims not to touch pork. But let us talk about the beef even. Eating too much beef is not necessarily the most healthy thing for the body. Are you following me or not? We all love beef once in a while. We all love prime rib once in a while, right? But can you stand beef in the morning, beef at noon, beef at night, 7 days a week? You think you would like that? Why not? It's too much stress on your digestive system. You feel heavy. You feel like you're littered. You feel like you cannot move. Because when it goes inside here, the stomach, it takes 8 hours to digest it. So you're going to ask me one tricky question before you ask it, then I better answer it. If you have some carbohydrate and some meat with it, which one is the stomach is going to open? After 4 hours or after 8 hours? No, it's after 4. The stomach will put the digestive stuff in the bottom. The indigestion stays in the top. It goes like this. And the liquid out, it sneaks down below and seeps out. Seeps, actually. Like, for example, like if you ate a meal right now, and then the stomach is full. Then you drank, like, say, a glass of water. It's going to have to go someplace. It goes in, seeps out. The stomach directs to the water and directly outside. Because it doesn't belong to that. So this is very sophisticated doors. They know who to open to and are very selective. Who to allow to go through to be absorbed. So there's no problem if you ate the meat or the beans or the protein with the carbohydrate and so on. And do not believe anybody who tells you you're not supposed to eat that food with this food with this food. There is food groups. There's no such thing called food groups. No such thing. Because if you look at God, how He made the nature, He did not put this nutrient separate from this nutrient. He put them all together in one. You have tomatoes, they have almost everything. You have eggplant, they have almost everything. You have corn, they have almost everything. You know, they are meals. You know, all of them by themselves. They were not separated. So since and when are we going to separate? Because there are new books saying, don't eat this, don't eat that. You type O, you type A, you type F, you got F. You know, there is no such thing. When Adam was came to this earth, he was not told, you type O, you type A, you type B. Which type was he? Which food he should eat then? For the people who said you eat according to blood type. Yeah, they ate the apple, you're right. Yeah. But the apple was not on earth, because it's supposed to be in heaven. He ate the apple. What I'm saying, let us take nutrition from witchcraft to science. Shaklee is the most scientific company in the world, and it does not have to use witchcraft to move this product. It can move it scientifically. Because it's making the protein that is absolutely perfect. You can have it with a meal, you can have it with vegetables, you can have it with toast, you can have it with a breakfast, with lunch, with dinner. That's absolutely no problem. So this new thing that's going crazy all over the world, even in Egypt, I just went last week, and some farmer, in my farm there, I have a farm in one part of in the desert, Sahara Desert, and I had one of the farmers to plant for me certain crops. In November, I told him, I want you to plant for me certain species of dates for the palm trees for certain dates I like. And that species I want. And then I told him, okay, so when I went to the center for a piano, he said, I want you to come to see. I said, you don't tell me you planted the trees already. And he said, yes, I did. So he had planted 300 palm trees. Then I added some mangoes to it. I thought next time I come, I want some mangoes in between the lines. But anyway, what this man told me, you know, I heard this, if you blood type is, I thought, don't talk about it. Stick with your farming. You do great. You're from ancient time. You're ancient Egyptian. Don't belong to this new stuff. Because he is. You know, he's from the desert. He never been in the city. And then everything I talked to him about agriculture, he knows it already. I was depressed. I told him everything. You know, you should not plant this crop with this crop. Said, oh no, you cannot do that. You cannot also do this and this and this. You should use. You should not use chemical fertilizer. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have to use organic fertilizer. Chemicals doesn't have minerals. You know, the guy, been to school and telling me the stuff I teach in the country that went to the moon and went around the world and did all of that. So we don't have lots of common sense. When we get so sophisticated, we forget common sense sometimes. So when you eat, don't worry about food groups and all of that. Eat normal and eat carbohydrates first. That's the major part of the meal. You're going to ask me a question. In the very end, you're going to say, how about dessert? Yeah, I'm coming to that. When you ate your carbohydrates and you ate your salad and you have some olive oil or oil with the I'm coming to that later, you deserve a dessert in the very end. Yes, you're absolutely right. But you're not going to have your apple as an empty stomach like Adam did. That was for different reasons. Has nothing to do with nutrition. Like Adam, he ate one a day, did not keep the doctor away. You know? It caused him to make up. That's what happened. So what we have to understand that fruits have their job, but we overdo it. We should eat it after meal if we have desire to it. We should have a dessert after meal if we have a desire to it. but the dessert should be half an hour after the meal is finished, not on the same table. You eat, you relax, you do what you have to do, then you sit down again and have a dessert, because by that time you said, no, I don't want it. Because the doors are closed already. See, that is my treatment to sugar addiction. That's the way. Okay, now we'll talk about protein. Protein, the safest protein you can take is soy protein. Soy protein prevents cancer. It has hormones. It helps against diabetes. It helps for weight loss. It has so many benefits. But would you believe there are some people writing articles now that soy protein can cause cancer? See, we can win. You remember about 10 years ago, when we start lecturing on beta-carotene against cancer, we were talking about that, and cigarette companies, they did a research in France, and they gave some carrot juice to some people, and they found out the people who drank the carrot juice had more cancer than the people who did not drink the carrot juice. Do you believe that? If I tell you that, would you believe that? Why? Because it doesn't make sense. Carrots, we've been eating carrots for thousands of years. That research was published in New England Journal of Medicine. And the doctor would tell the patient, no beta-carotene, cause cancer. But when I saw that in the paper, I said, who's behind this article? Who paid that study? Was tobacco company. Sure enough, a couple of years later, they were caught cold-handed in their tricky system of poisoning the world and the United States also. Talking about poisoning the world, right now you probably have heard that cyanide, that arsenic, has been allowed in our water, drinking water again. It was prevented by Clinton administration. And Bush, the first thing he did, he said, we will have to allow arsenic back in the water because it's good for the economy. That was published, and that's the man I selected. So I tell you, I care less about who represents me. There is nobody can represent me better than God, and those people nothing but representatives of the devil themselves, all of them are. Because first somebody to say something, and then after they want to change their mind, it makes me sick. You know, it makes me sick. He said, I'm anti-abortion. I'm anti-abortion too. But you're anti-abortion, you don't want the baby to die, but you want to kill the adults with arsenic? You heard about also the smoke, the sulfur coming out in the chimney. Now we are allowed to burn more sulfur and put more acid rain in the air now. All the laws was made in 1996 being cancelled. Most of the EPA law has been taken out of the law. Even radioactive waste has been taken out of the law. So I don't know what to tell you, but we have a very hard job ahead of us. Who to select? Devil number one or devil number two? Because the people who we really like, they don't win. You know, the people who say, I like this guy, but he doesn't win. The big guys end up by winning always. So I don't know what to do about it. All I can say is upsetting, which we're going to be talking about that, the lecture in September, and the toxic world we're living in. Because when you're releasing arsenic in the water, you're not killing Russians. If he hates Russians, or he hates the Arabs, or he's the Israelis, he's the Chinese, he's only killing his own people. So what kind of representation is that? I do believe there is something behind these secrets. There is something we don't know. We don't know what it is. Either money talks, or they get paid, or they dumb, or I don't know what it is that they do these things to us, to our children. The drugs being released to doctors to use without even proving to be safe right now. You probably read about it. A drug has been released, and then they take it out of the market. Released, taken out. Released, taken out. For heaven's sake, don't release anything for our children, our parents, ourselves, without knowing it is safe. But money is getting to be like God, and everybody rushing to make the fast buck without thinking about the children, the grandchildren, the future generation, and are we going to leave this environment cleaner for somebody else to rule the world or not? And we go back to the digestive system again. Okay. The protein, the best protein then is that soy protein. And the last thing we talk about in the nutrients, we're going to talk about the fat. And the fat is two kinds, either oil or saturated fat in the form of animal fat. Vegetable fat or animal fat. Which one would be healthier, we should take? Some vegetable fat like olive oil and oil in the food and stuff are a lot better than saturated fat, because if you eat a piece of fat, it makes your stomach feel bad. If you have some oil with the salad, it feels good, feels refreshing. So we have talked already about the digestive system and the nutrients and how do they get digested. Now, we're supposed to talk about diseases today, indigestion, bad breath, dry mouth, difficult swallowing, H. pylori, all this is in the article right here. You must have one of that. And hiatal hernia and hypoglycemia and all of this. And that is what we're going to be talking about, because they've already been covered. If you think about it, I already covered it indirectly. The reason for indigestion is the acid from the stomach is going up in the esophagus because the stomach is too big, or the valve doesn't close all the way. And both of them cause indigestion, like hiatal hernia cause indigestion, and the answer for that, small quantity of meal, of food, increase the vegetables, increase the carbohydrate, cut down the sugar and the fruits, and have some fibers with it, cut down the fat, it causes indigestion also. And then if you want better results, add one easy jest with that. If you want better results, you have the calcium complex. You can chew about 4 or 5 of those with the meal to neutralize the acid. It's safer than antacids. The second problem is the bad breath. Bad breath comes from 2 locations. Mouth, and eating lots of vegetables and salads will clean the teeth, and brushing teeth, of course, and brushing the tongue and all of these things we know. But another source of bad breath comes from the digestive system itself. It has fermentation inside. If you have that, then you have to take care of your mouth first, then eat more vegetables, and have vegetables green vegetables, by the way, not cooked vegetables, is the biggest part of the diet. And that will take care of the digestive system odor that it happens. Because vegetables do not give bad odor. Like animals, like a horse, will eat lots of alfalfa, and we all allow cows and horses, but the odor comes from their mouth is vegetable odor type. It doesn't have the bad fermentation from the dog or from the meat-eating animals. Are you following me or not? So it is important to realize that. If your mouth is dry, it's usually you don't chew for a long time. Some people might have Gorgon syndrome, autoimmune disease, but that's very rare, only one in 1,000 have it. So most of people have dry mouth because they don't have enough fluid, enough liquid. And when they want to have enough fluid, they don't take water. They take Coke or juices as a source of water. Never drink this type of thing as a source of water, especially beer. It's not good to drink when you're thirsty. Because for every can of beer you drink, if you're thirsty, you urinate 2 cans of urine because it suppresses antidiuretic hormone, which causes you to urinate a lot and get dehydrated. So to get the dryness corrected is water. Hydrate. Most of people do not drink 8 glasses of water a day. Most of people don't drink enough water. They drink other fluids, but they don't drink enough water. Some people have difficulty swallowing. Like when you eat food, it doesn't go down properly. If you have that, you must see gastroenterologist because you could be developing Barrett's esophagitis, or you could be developing cancer of the esophagus, and you need somebody to look inside to see why you have difficulty swallowing. There is something called H. pylori. You heard about it. The H. pylori is a germ similar to syphilis, similar to Lyme disease, that lives in the stomach and causes heartburn. So if you have heartburn, there is a blood test. It can be done to see if you have it or not, and if you have it, we must kill that germ. Hypoglycemia, we already talked about it. The main cause of hypoglycemia is eating too many sweets. The liver and gallbladder and problem, the liver problem, we have a lecture about it by itself, but we will cover more about the liver in the next lecture. But the gallbladder disease is mainly caused from lack of lecithin. We talked about lecithin in the lung. Now I'm telling you lecithin also for your gallbladder. Lecithin helps the gallbladder stuff to be liquid, so they come out, they don't become crystallized and called stones. If you have gallbladder attack, usually you really need to take care of it because it could be infection, or it could be cancer, or it could be stones. Pancreatic problem is very rare. It's usually caused by alcohol or virus, and the symptom of it is diarrhea or nausea, and it's very rare. We don't see it among chocolate people. You know, lots of this problem I don't see it among chocolate people. But when I see it, if we see it, we think about something serious behind it. Because usually they don't develop these diseases. But if they do have symptoms, we think about cancer or something else going on. It is about 8:30 right now. It's an hour and a half we lectured. So the last thing I want to say is I'm going to put my phone number right here, which is 847-356-9009. Somebody wants to make an appointment, that is the number. If you want, for appointment, if you want questions, you have a question, you want me to answer it, you give me a call at my home at 847-295-0634. No charge for any phone consultation. Okay? And that's my home number. And believe me, people tell me you're crazy. I'm not. Because very rarely I found people calling unless they really have a problem, and it doesn't bother me. When I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, I get on the phone, listen to my message about 10 or 15, and I enjoy chatting with people all over the world, you know, this problem, and go to sleep. It's better than watching TV. I didn't even know the NCAA Duke won until I finished with the conversation, put the TV, and I find that Duke won, and I wanted Arizona win. So there was a ruined the night for me. Anyway, this is the lecture about digestive system number 1. Digestive system number 2 is going to include Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, constipation, diarrhea. It's also going to include something about the liver. We're going to discuss alfalfa. We will discuss Optiflora. We will discuss also the cancer of the colon and how to detect it, how to prevent it, and cancer of the pancreas, cancer of the gallbladder. We will talk about all of that. And I'm going to take some questions from you, start from the front to the back. Anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I know you were going to cover reflux or gastroesophageal reflux.
Yes. I thought I did, but let me go over it again. I said in this here, right in this picture, that this guy closes this door and this door. Okay? Let me put you, you're laying down asleep at night now. And you are on your back. Or you are on your stomach. Either one. What's that? Stand this way? Okay. You cannot see it here? Okay. So you can see that when we sleep, there's a chance that the acid will come through. The answer to that we should eat too early, number 1. Like the dinner should be 6, 7 o'clock, if you're going to sleep 10 o'clock. No snacks after 8 o'clock. Any liquid should be in the form of water and vitamins, not in the form of juices and sweets and stuff like that. And that probably will solve the problem. Another thing, it does help reflux. Reflux is very dangerous because when the acid comes right here and burns this area, after so many years it burns it can develop cancer in the esophagus. So one thing I have done, weight loss, exercise helps to decrease reflux. Another thing it does help, calcium, before you go to bed, it helps to decrease reflux. Another thing helps to decrease reflux is even old-fashioned baking soda. That you will have some baking soda. It tastes very yucky, as I saw the faces on my right already. But it does taste bad. But you know what? You can add some honey with it, little bit, and change the taste, and it doesn't taste, and put it in the refrigerator and stay cold. But all you need is one stick if you have that reflux every night. But the best thing to do is you have gastroscopy, somebody should look inside to be sure there's no problem.
Well, I'm also thinking my grandson, he's 8 months now, and 3 months when they diagnosed him with that.
There is no 3 months with reflux esophagus. They always have reflux esophagitis when they're 3 months old. You know, their stomach doesn't close until they are 2 years old. It just, don't worry about kids. They outgrow it. There's no problem with that. But don't raise them on sweets and junk and all of that, and then worry about, about reflux. The kids overeat, they fill the stomach, they have to regurgitate it out. Well, again, I'm not going to do private consultation right here because I don't know the case. I've just talked about reflux esophagitis. Yes, ma'am.
For a diabetic for a year now, currently taking 2 medicines. Do you recommend any herbal medicines? And one book that you have a highly recommend to read.
Okay. The question is, I repeat the question to you, diabetic, and what kind of herbal supplements or something. Diabetes is, we know more about diabetes now than we did 10 years ago. The UK study came out, 1996, and it was involved the largest diabetes study in the world. It lasted about 10 years. And we learned a lot about diabetes, and we have taken my patients, 99% of my patients not on insulin anymore. So we have succeeded with diabetes before, according to the study. But to try to treat it by herbs and stuff like that, we don't get involved in that. The reason behind it, diabetes is a very dangerous disease. If it's too high, it causes coma. If it's too low, it's hypoglycemia. So I try to give him diet and exercise and all of that. But if it's adult onset, it's easy. If it's a juvenile, it's hard. But herbal supplements, I haven't seen any of them that effective. But we have seen the patients who underwent scientific studies that we have determined the hemoglobin A1C, the glycohemoglobin level, maintain it below 6. And we do that with blood tests, we know we control the diabetes side effect. If we don't, we're not controlled. So diabetes is no longer controlled by blood sugar. We have to do other blood tests every month to be sure that the patient is safe. These blood tests will tell us if the patient is going to get blind 10 years from now, or if he's going to have a stroke 20 years from now. I just mentioned those blood tests. But you can call me on the phone and tell you about it. The doctor should do it. Because insurance covers, medical covers it. It should not be things in secret. It's a glycohemoglobin, hemoglobin A1C, and the level of it is known, and every doctor knows it. And if it's not within the range, then the patient will have complications. Then something must be done. Nutrition is #1 approach for diabetic patients. Yes, sir.
Two fast ones. Is B12 one of the main brain vitamins?
B12 is one of the main brain vitamins, yes.
B12 and B6, right?
Correct.
I have a sister, an older sister. She's 45, she's on her trip to Las Vegas. But when she comes back, I thought maybe she might go to your clinic. She has trouble swallowing. And she has to throw up sometimes.
I will do everything I can to tell her what should be done, which doctor she would go to in Las Vegas and stuff like that.
She's coming back. She's just on a vacation.
Oh, on vacation. I'd be glad to see her. One of the most important things with esophagus, like the lady said right here, we don't want that acid to go through the esophagus to pour in the lungs at night. Because it burns the lungs. It causes emphysema. It burns the esophagus. It causes cancer. It even can close the esophagus that you get choked and you can die choking on a piece of meat. And it is very, very hard. If you let the patient go like that, it's very hard to reconstruct the esophagus, to make a new one. It's very hard. So I think we should find a way to help the esophagus if I can.
Now, she'll be back. She just went on a vacation.
Okay. You got my number and she can call me. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
What do you think about children taking these tests? Do they need it?
No. The children do not need digestive enzymes as adults do. And I have a table about that, and I don't want children, whatever you do for adults is not necessarily you have to do for children. Okay? Children are sensitive, they're growing, and up to the age of 17, you might overdo it with certain things, you might underdo it. Nutrition for them should be done either by me or by somebody who knows nutrition very well, but nutrition with ignorance is more serious than no nutrition at all. So I just wanted to warn about that. Because I've seen children taking Herbalax in high doses. I've seen children taking, things that they have no reason to take it, But the ignorance is very dangerous for us. That's why we put the lectures on to tell you the phone is there. I'm available to answer questions. I don't charge for it. And you can ask me questions if you want by phone or by writing, but usually phone is the easiest way. Yes, ma'am.
Can you correct B12 deficiency without taking doctor's shots?
B12 cannot be corrected without B12 shots. No. B12, it's more complicated than that. The gentleman asked an important question about the brain right here. Let me explain to you about B12 in a little bit more scientific fact. In the stomach here, we haven't covered everything. In the stomach, there are cells right here, a cell, special cell in the stomach. They secrete a protein. That protein specializes to grab B12 when it comes from above. Join it. Because B12 is toxic to to the small intestine. So that protein has to grab it and cover it, hold it, and go all the way with it to this spot right here. What is it? Right here. The secret. And go in the blood. One place for entrance, one place to enter the blood. That's B12. That's how God made it. Okay? What happened with B12 when we have stress in life? And we do have stress in life, right? We all do. And stress is getting worse even. The stomach gets hyper during stress. Too much acid gets secreted. The protein gets destroyed. The B12 goes through all the way to the other end without being absorbed. That is the... So the problem is not that B12 is not there in tablets. The problem is the co-factors that you're supposed to be making, probably you're not making. So that is my explanation, but has not been proven in research yet. But I'm usually 10 years, 20 years ahead of research. When I suggest something, they discover it usually 2 years later. And one day they will discover that. I believe in B12. He believes in B12. 99% of doctors don't believe in B12. But I believe I'm right. Scientifically and practically with my patients. So that's why B12 is important to take care of the digestive system that you make that protein so you can absorb your B12, and if you're not, we can do a blood test. We do MCV, and if we see the MCV is elevated, we know the B12 folic acid is low, then we have to give injection. Okay? But the blood test for B12 level is inaccurate. I think there is a question. I'm going to go all the way to the back, come back again. Okay, right here. Yes, go ahead.
Is B12 better to take after the dinner meal, after the evening?
What's that?
The B12 vitamin, is that better to take after the dinner meal?
After the meal?
Right, after dinner, the evening meal.
Vitamins in general, or you said B12?
B12.
I said B12 does not get absorbed by itself, usually, unless you have good digestive system. But if you're talking about all vitamins, should be taken together in a small quantity after each meal. So little bit after breakfast, little bit after lunch, little bit after dinner. Never take so much at one time, because you will have gas, heartburn, nausea, and all of these things. Okay?
What nutritionally can you do for someone with cirrhosis?
With what?
What nutritionally can you do for someone with cirrhosis of the liver?
To find out what causes the cirrhosis, if it's hepatitis C, you treat hepatitis C. If it is alcohol, you stop the alcohol and give the liver a chance with nutrition, and that's the only thing you can do.
Any particular kind of nutrition?
Everything. Because cirrhosis is the end stage. The end stage liver disease. You know what the word end stage means? It's the end of the life of the liver. I mean, the liver is dying. So for me to say I'm going to reverse cirrhosis, I'd be lying to you. I have not reversed a single cirrhosis patient yet in 25 years.
What about Taxotere?
No, I'm talking about the herbs like DTX for Shackley have, it does help the liver. All the stuff that they said might help the liver, it's mine. But it also might intoxicate the liver if it's not proven. Remember, food supplements or things that advertise for it in health magazine for liver, none of them being approved or proven scientifically how safe it is. It's my work. Don't take me wrong, it's my work. But in medicine, we don't care if things work only. Two things we have to worry about. Does it work? What are the side effects? You follow me or not? We must know both. We cannot just know one without the other. So in nutrition and health food stores, they're selling things without knowing the side effects of it. And that's dangerous. I have a degree in herbs. In agronomy, I have my degree in herbs. I studied herbs in my degree. I taught herbs. My master's degree was in pharmacognosy, which is herbal medicine. However, I cannot dare to take an herb unless I know exactly what for, how, and when. Some herbs can stop the heart. Some herbs like digitalis can stop the heart and digoxin. So we've got to be careful. Herbs are natural medicines. After you take your vitamins, you exercise, you take the right food, then worry about it. But let us not use herbs first before we take care of the nutrition first. Are you following me or not? Because somebody with cirrhosis, he has limited time. If we're working in the right amount of C and performance, the physique, the instant protein, the liquid, the vitamins, all this nutrition, and exercise, and no alcohol, and no drugs, the liver is fantastic. It recovers. Liver can work with 10%. Can be dead 90% still working. Where the heart cannot work if it is 30% is gone. The liver can do with only 10%. The brain, 5% if it's gone, it cannot work properly. The liver can, 90% can be dead, it still recovers. It still works. Are you following me or not? But let us not kill the other 10% by giving the wrong thing. Okay?
So you would not suggest milk thistle?
I suggest milk thistle. I just said DTX is fine.
Okay.
It's been known. Milk thistle is fine. But I must know what type of cirrhosis. What is the milk thistle for? Let me tell you. Milk thistle, DTX, is made to fight hepatitis C. That's it. It works against liver enzyme, chronic fatigue syndrome viruses. That's all it does. So let us not think that milk thistle, it does everything. It works against hepatitis C, Epstein-Barr virus, chronic fatigue viruses, and stuff like that in the liver. But it doesn't work against cancer. The vitamin C will do that, and other things will do that. You follow me? The liver is complicated. Yes, Michelle.
I've been taking Herblac for 20 years, 2 a day with a meal, and it was just suggested that I need a colonoscopy because the one herb in there called senna has been proven to cause a problem in the colon. Is this true?
That's not true because senna has been used in Egypt for about 10,000 years and it didn't cause any problem. Okay? And senna, we have senna trees in front of our house and we used to chew on senna bark and I'm still around. So apparently, senna didn't cause any senility. So I still don't find. I think you're doing the right thing. Don't worry. Dr. Shackley made a good formula, and I don't think there's anything wrong in it at all. Okay. The program, the question, do I have a program for somebody with candida? Candida will overgrow in the intestine if the pH is wrong. We're going to talk about after 4. If the fibers are there in the upper digestive system, the candida will be sloughed out with the fibers in the stool. It comes by itself. We don't want to kill candida. You have to know candida is the germ in the intestine that kills viruses and bacteria that cause cancer. Candida lives on them. So the way God made us, we must have a balance between little bit strep, acidophilus, candida, E. coli, proteus, shigella, and all of this has to be in balance with each other. When one of them overgrow the other because antibiotic use or something, then we must correct it. Either by diflucan, mycostatin, or by taking lots of fibers, and we must establish a fact. How much candida actually in the stool? and how much is in the blood. If it's only in the stool, that's fine. We just use fibers. If it's in the blood, we use diflucan. Yeah, candida in the blood, we use diflucan for it. One tablet usually kills it. One dose kills the all. It doesn't have to be 15 days. And diflucan is natural, by the way. Let me see if any more questions here, and let me select now according to my design. Which one I like now? Okay, this lady here.
What supplements would you recommend for somebody with pancreatitis?
Oh, all the supplements are fine with pancreatitis. All of them. They don't hurt pancreatitis. The only thing that hurts pancreatitis, too much protein, too much fat. But carbohydrate does not hurt pancreatitis at all. EasyJet is the most important thing for pancreatitis. Okay, yes ma'am.
Doctor, I'm interested in your opinion on fruit. How much, when, can you combine it with other foods, and do you eat it?
Okay, how much fruit?
A day.
I eat maybe one fruit every other day. Or half a fruit every other day. Or one fruit maybe once a week. Okay, that's how I eat. Nothing wrong with fruit. People who live in fruit area in Egypt, like in Alexandria or Cairo, they have much better fruit than us. They eat lots more fruit. We in the Delta, in the desert, we have no fruit trees. So fruit is not essential to the diet. It was essential in the old days because it was the source of vitamins. Since the fruit trees changed and chemically fertilized, and they don't carry the same nutrients, we have food supplements. So fruits for pleasure, it can be used. For pleasure. An apple after meal, a banana after meal, a dessert after meal. But on an empty stomach, it will precipitate hypoglycemic reaction. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, I'm fighting a losing battle for 30 years. I'm losing it with my own kids, my own grandkids, everybody, because everybody thinks you're the only one saying this. Everybody uses it. That's what's wrong with that. So the facts are facts. The people who ate complex carbohydrates are healthier than the people who depend on simple carbohydrates. But let us say, if you are an athlete, if you're going to run a marathon, if you're going to play basketball game, if you're going to swim, you must take some fruit before you start the game. You must have some fruit after the game. You see, here are exceptions. This is a general lecture. But to go specifically, specific job, specific individual, when I do private consultation, is different. You follow me or not? Because the Olympic runners, I was consultant for some of them. And I told them how much performance and physique they have to take before they start. Why? Because I want the blood sugar to reach 170 before they start. I don't like it to be 170, but by the time they finish, it goes down to 60. That's okay. And you follow me or not? That is a special occasion. But that's not normal life. To be an athlete, a runner, all of that, that's not normal. Normal is to be a farmer, walk slow, and do everything slow. If we born to run like tigers, we will have 4 legs. So I play soccer for fun, but I ruined my knees. How many goals I scored, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything to me right now. My knee is what bothers me. So we are saying sports is fun, but we overdo it. And we push our kids for sport too much. It's better to play sport than watch TV. It's better to be in a sport than gangs. That's true. But also sport is not over academic. Academic is over sport. A child should be outstanding in chemistry, in mathematics, in English, in biology, in pharmacy. This is what the world wants. We don't want runners. We want scientists, we want brains. But if we want Tiger Woods shooting a ball and put it in a hole, so what? So what? With the ball running, walking all the way and watching the ball go in the hole. You know what? I would love to walk in the river and the beach and watch the tree greens and all of that. I don't care if the ball was in the hole. But the whole issue is we have vacancy in our mind. We have vacancy in our lives. The partners are not there for each other. There is emptiness in life. So we have to fill it somehow, by soap opera, by TV, by sports, by that, whatever. But I think if you go to the gym and exercise, proper exercise, it does a lot more than very severe sports. That you must start with 0 to 100 in 6 seconds, like a Mustang or something. It's just not good for the body. Yes, ma'am.
Is Octaflora something that you would recommend everyone take, or only people with certain symptoms?
If you have digestive symptoms, you should take it. We will talk about that in the next lecture because that's a colon supplement. Yes, in the back.
There are so many people who suffer from hiatal hernia. What is the cause of that?
Hiatal hernia, the main cause of it, overeating, lack of exercise, and overweight. That's it. That's hiatal hernia. Once it ruptures, leave it alone because the surgery will make it worse. But don't wear too tight clothes around here. When you wear tight clothes around the abdomen, pushing all the food up, it doesn't help either. Are you following me or not? So the clothes itself has something to do with it. Because you got to breathe, you have to have space in the abdomen, and we tended to compress everything here, and then they have no place to go. You can't even breathe. So you want to look good. So, yes, sir.
Once you have a hiatal hernia, then, is there no way of curing it? You just have to learn to live with it?
No, it's not necessarily true. I got 20,000 patients, I said. I have nobody complaining about hiatal hernia. I do think that the hiatal hernia drops down in place, again, goes down from the chest down, and the diaphragm can close, but surgery has failed to correct it. You understand? Surgery did not succeed to correct it. But diet and exercise and weight loss, it seems like people who have the hernia is doing better. I didn't go inside. I didn't do gastroscopy in each one or upper GI with reflex on each one to see. But if the patient is not complaining about it, and there is no sign of cancer, then there is no reason for me to worry about it. So we are talking here about the Shakri people have 90% less hiatal hernia than other people. They have less, 90% less indigestion than other people. They have 90% less H. pylori than other people. And they have also less liver cirrhosis and other things than other people. So I do think it's not only the vitamin they're taking, the style of life of the people who believe in nutrition changes. Their style of life is changed. Not only they take good supplements, they usually not junkies, they don't drink, they do lots of good things. And they're more positive, and they believe in God. They have more spiritual life. They're different people than the majority of other people. Thank you so much, and you have a good night.